Morning, dear students. Today's lesson will be the past progressive. Let's open our booklets, the grammar booklets on page 23. Okay, guys, what do we mean by past progressive? Okay, we use the past progressive to talk about an action that was happening at a certain time in the past. So it's not only an action that happened in the past, but also it happened in a certain time in the past. For example, if I want to say, yesterday at 2 o'clock, I was studying English. At 2 o'clock. So I mentioned yesterday, which is a past event, at 2 o'clock. This is a specific time in the past. I was studying English. Okay, we have another example here. I was driving home from work at 8 o'clock yesterday evening. Yesterday evening, this is a past event that happened in the past in a certain time, which is at 8 o'clock. Okay, what is the form of the past progressive? Or how could we make the past progressive? We use was or were plus verb plus ing. Was or were plus verb plus ing. This is the form of the past progressive. And I will repeat once more that we use the past progressive to talk about a past action that happened in a certain time in the past. Okay, guys. Now we have the key words. What are the key words or the words that when we see in the sentence, we put the verb in the past progressive? Okay, we have all day, morning, or all evening, all day, or morning, all evening. The three of them shows that this verb should be in the past progressive. For example, she was crying all evening. Okay, we have another example here. Yesterday at 6 o'clock, I was sleeping. Yesterday at 6 o'clock. I was sleeping yesterday at 6 o'clock. So here we have a specific time. When we just say at 6 o'clock, at 10 o'clock, at 9 o'clock yesterday, this means that we are very specific to mention when exactly the verb happened in the past. That's why we use the past progressive tense. So now we have all, the word all day, all evening, all morning. The word at 6 o'clock, yesterday at 7 o'clock, yesterday at 12 o'clock, yesterday at midnight. All these keywords are for the past progressive. Also, guys, we have the word while. While. Okay, I want you to be careful because you might get confused with while and when. These are two key words of the past progressive, while and when. Let me tell you something, guys. That while and when should be present in a sentence that has two actions. One happened and then another action cut it. For example, if I have a sentence like, I was studying, the phone ring, for example. Which one is the past continuous or the past progressive and which one is the past simple? The two verbs that I told you about that should be present in the sentence with while and when, one of them will be in the past progressive and one will be in the past simple. But bear in mind that with while, we should proceed while with past continuous or past progressive. And the other verb should be in the past simple. So, while is followed by past continuous, and then the second verb should be in the past simple. And this is opposite to what will happen with when. When should be followed by a past simple tense, and then the other verb should be in the past progressive or past continuous. By the way, guys, past progressive has the same meaning as past continuous. Okay? Again, I just need to tell you the rule of while and when, that are keywords of the past progressive. Okay? Whenever we just use while, it has to be followed by a past progressive, okay? And then the second verb in the second sentence should be in the past simple tense. And I will give you an example here, guys. While I was studying, this is past progressive or past continuous. The phone rang, which is the past simple of ring. So the verb that followed the while is in the past continuous or the past progressive, and the second one is in the past simple. With when, an example with when Tom knocked the door, his parents were watching TV. Look, these are two actions, one cut the other. The parents were watching TV, and then Tom suddenly knocked the door. So when is followed by a past simple tense action or verb, and then the second sentence is in the past progressive or in the past simple. Understood, guys? Okay, it's very easy. Now we want to apply on what we have taken, but let me rephrase first. Past progressive is a tense of a verb that happened in the past in a specific time in the past. Okay, and we have an example like I was driving home from work at 8 o'clock yesterday evening. So this means that we were very specific at the time of the verb. What is the form of the past progressive? It's was or were plus verb plus ing, meaning that I should say she was driving home yesterday at 9 o'clock. She was driving. This is a past progressive verb. I'm sorry. Okay, so what are the keywords? The keywords are all day, all morning, all evening, the word all. Also, we have the word at 6 o'clock, yesterday at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, not specifically 6. You can write any time. So this means that you are very specific in mentioning the time of the action itself. And we have the word while and when, and we said that while is followed by the past progressive and the second verb is in the past simple. And with when, we follow the word when with a verb in the past simple tense, and then the second one is the past progressive. Okay, guys, we should open our booklets on page 24. Here, I'll give you time to answer, and then I will show you the keywords, or I will show you the key answer of this exercise. Okay, guys. Number one, they play computer games yesterday afternoon. So this is very specific. Yesterday afternoon, this means that the verb should be in the past progressive. So they were playing. Were playing. Number two, the children make a lot of noise all day. The word all, which is a key word of the past progressive. So it should be the children were making a lot of noise all day. You talk in your sleep yesterday all night. All night. Keyword at past progressive, so this means that it should be you were talking in your sleep. The baby cried all night because she was hungry. The baby was crying all night because she was hungry. I have breakfast yesterday at 8:30. I was having breakfast yesterday at 8:30. Number 6, my brother and I do our homework yesterday at 6 o'clock. My brother and I were doing our homework yesterday at 6 o'clock. Here, guys, as we noticed that we have in all the sentences a specific time in the past mentioned. That's why we put the verb in the past progressive. Number 7, Grandpa read in the garden yesterday at 8 o'clock. Grandpa was reading in the garden yesterday at 8 o'clock. The boys sit in my bedroom reading books all evening. The boys were sitting in my bedroom reading books all evening. Okay, let's turn to exercise letter B. Complete using the past progressive of the verbs in brackets. Okay, number 1, guys. Yesterday I went for a walk in the park. While I was staying there, I saw lots of children who were playing. There was a man who was walking his dogs. He was throwing sticks and the dogs were running to catch them. A gardener was planting some flowers and some old ladies were sitting on a park bench enjoying the warm sunshine. It was lovely. Now we answered, or we put all the verbs in this paragraph in the past progressive as was requested in the question. As we said, the past progressive is made, or the form of the past progressive is was or were plus verb plus ing. Number 2, Mark and Jennifer got married last weekend. It was a beautiful wedding. The bridesmaids were wearing pink dresses. They all were carrying small bouquets of pink and white flowers. The bride's mother was crying because she was so happy. The sun was shining and the couple were smiling. I'm sorry. It should be where. Okay, at everyone. Understood, guys? Let's turn to page, excuse me, it's the rest of the exercises. Okay, do as shown between brackets. I was driving, my cell phone rang. We should use while. As we said, guys, before, that while should be followed by a verb in the past progressive, and the second sentence, the verb should be in the past simple. So it should be, while I was driving, my cell phone rang. Okay. And the second one is, I was reading, the doorbell rang. We should use when. Also, guys, we said that with when, we should proceed when with a past simple tense verb. And the second verb should be in the past progressive. When the doorbell rang, I was reading. Here, we just put here the doorbell rang because this is the past simple verb tense. Okay, and it has to be followed, the when should be followed by a past simple tense verb. And the second verb is in the past progressive. I was reading. Okay, here guys, we should choose whether while or when. I was running. My friend called me. So which one? Here we have a verb in the past progressive. Which one should we choose? While or when? Perfect, it's while. Number 2, my alarm rang. I was sleeping. Okay guys, we should choose while or when. Which one of them? Yes, we should choose when, because the verb here is in the past simple tense, and we said that when is preceded with a past simple tense verb. And the last one we should use when, do as shown. I was eating dinner. Mary called. Okay, so it should be when Mary called, because this is the past simple tense verb, and we know that when is preceded by a past simple tense verb. So it should be when Mary called, I was eating dinner. Okay guys, understood? I hope you understand this lesson, and thank you for listening to me. Have a good day.